officially get started. Again, I'm Josh, 30 West presents me. I want to go with a couple poems. Hopefully you all like it. This one's kind of new. Obviously, we all know what a Wawa is, so this will be highly relatable. It's called A Sizzling Humid Morning Calls for a Wawa Sizzly. A sizzling humid morning calls for a Wawa Sizzly. But it's even better when they are free. Paid for by the woman in the red skirt and cardigan in front of me. Maybe a Twitter shout-out can recompense those measly dimes and nickels she spent on my soul. And as I sit in my air-conditioned car, munching the flaky biscuit with an abundant animal farm in my teeth, I recall a valuable lesson on quantity. So one day in the life of Ivan Denisovich taught me to always chew your food to a pasty mush. Let your taste buds be jealous. Let your peers be jealous. And let the Siberian freeze be jealous of your metabolic frame before you go to build those damn masonry walls again. I'd be worthless in a gulag, that's for sure. I still don't listen to him, Denisovich, even though the supersized me is dead and gone, and I'm trying my best to combat genetics and metabolism, but who can't beat a free sandwich that goes straight to the coronary? Sitting here sedentary is quite the privilege, I must say, in DC, until I see a hitchhiker pacing up Route 202. No one, and I mean no one, should feel the whoosh of a car traveling over 45, unless, you're into that kind of crazy near-death adrenaline rush. But let me tell you one thing, these morning commuters can be fucking fickle. One day they cooperate, hey, come on in, you're cool. Next thing you know, they're gonna fucking ran you off the road. But, and when I mean ran off the road, I mean the road, heaven, hell, whatever. But, if you're gonna hit a homeless person going 45, at least make sure they don't go out on an empty stomach. Thank you. Actually, I sent that poem in for a magazine, so we can only hope. But alright, I'm gonna read another one. This one's called. Alright, the title is "I woke prostrate in Ketchum, Idaho, with buckshot tangled in my beard." And I was all but delirious when I witnessed the fleeting ghost of the sailor Asia El Sur. I swallowed my iron supplements dry and began my perpetual first draft. My brain still ticking, my fingers still picking. Thank you. It's another little allusion to Hemingway. Which, man, how about Florida? Hopefully, is anybody from Florida? Georgia or Texas? Because hurricanes suck, let me tell you. I'm afraid of tornadoes. Honestly, that movie Twister scarred me for life. It's like, it's all cool when you see it in the distance, and then you see the house vanish. It's like, oh, fucking. So anyways, center, Josh, center. CJ, come on in. Even more people. Awesome. So his next poem actually got published in the Green Light, which is a brand new literary journal. It's called "I Can't Believe I Just Ate a Plum from Chile." It's actually alright. I can't believe I just ate a plum from Chile. I'll never see the calloused hand farmer pricking pennies to $1, or the rusty barge that brought the stone fruit to my hands. But surely, this sunset mask with one eye open will wrinkle the heavens, and Pablo Neruda will dip his feet in a slightly warmer sea than he's accustomed to. Thank you. I got one more, we'll roll into the features. Let's see. Not that one, that's not good. Alright, this is also from the Green Light today. Yard sale item number 1. I'm that fair-conditioned record player you gaze at innocuously but rationalize a way out of the fine china set you shelved circa 1965. I've been marked down 3 times with a pen, and I become a steal of a deal, jumping ship on the needle even after the first A-side. Rusty and jagged and fully worn, deep grooves penetrating more and more. This record spins a familiar tune, onomatopoeia, the falsetto I only dreamed to be, of an adjacent Broadway sidewalk. Deaf ears hear a scratch, abrupt. No amount of catharsis can uplift this weary brow. All that's left is coffin dust coughed, obsolete, simple days, and lost of the purest sound. Thank you.
Hello everyone, my name is Elaine Adamski. This is actually my first poetry reading, so I'm sorry if I'm a little shy. But I'm really excited to be here, and I hope you enjoy what I have for you today. So the first piece I'll be reading is called The Town Deli. I used to work at a deli growing up in high school. My little sister actually works there now. So I'm attempting to kind of describe what it was like working there via the people that work there. Some of it is true, some of it is exaggerated. My family's here, so they can determine what actually happened or not. Alright, Town Deli. Sophia. He's paying me $6 an hour. I'm turning up the fucking heat if I want to. Anything else, ma'am? Cheeks, flushed permanently round, Russian and big like the words that fly out of her mouth. On the back counter, she sticks a piece of metal halfway through my belly button, numb against my skin. Growing halo of blood. Needle bulging cave as Tuesday night's lottery guy walks in mid-puncture. Anything else, ma'am? Don't worry about sanitation shit. I pierced my friend's frenulum at the mall, you know? That shit under your tongue. Ryan. Sorry about that, ma'am. Pinocchio-esque in light denim jeans and white sneakers. Not really white, actually, but with deli meats crammed between the cracks too big for his feet. Constant humming. I created a fly shooter machine for the fly problem we have here. It doesn't really work, but it keeps me focused, and I killed 3 flies already. He gets down on his knees to count the leftover hoagie rolls, out loud. Awkward Ryan, they call him. Really awkward Ryan. Whistling and twirling the bag, dropping it, hoagie rolls rolling down the freshly mopped floor, damp as he slides to the freezer in the back. Matt. So high, one time, drizzling lettuce on carved out bread delicately. Just give me another minute to make it perfect. I swear they wanted pickles on their turkey special. Inhale, exhale, faint scent of green lingering in the deli. Do you like Nirvana? Goosebumps on skins against the cold titanium counter in the back. If you need a ride home, just let me know. 2 roast beef hoagies, salt, pepper, no oregano, light onions, and extra mayo coming right up. Hey Matt, can you grab tomatoes from the freezer? Hey Matt, can you open a new honey maple? Hey Matt, can you grab more ones from the safe? No one mops every night. Fuck mopping. Come here. Radio broken by the sounds of kissing against the sinks. Hey, if I win this one, let's split it. I'll buy a new car and drive you around. Sophia. Unwraps blocks of cheese like an idiot. Props it up vertically and slices the plastic open with a lettuce knife. Is that all, sir? She points the knife towards herself, and in one abrupt motion slices through the Cooper sharp right into her stomach. Just one time, though. It's nothing. Don't tell Joe. Ma'am? Do you need anything else? Anything else? Lady? Thick or thin? And then turning towards me. Psst. Is 3/4 the same as .75? So this next piece is called Naked or Wet or Both, and it's actually just a small snippet from a larger excerpt that I wrote. Wallpaper plastered with cassettes colored crimson, rusted rectangles covering the black bathroom walls. I splash water on my face. Floors tinted red, faces red. My hands running down your back, pushing away some way to find the exit, glowing red. A black buggy buzzes, parked with headlights shining bright like 2 burning wet eyes, waving me down, screaming, "It's raining, it's raining, it's raining on my face, your face," sprawled on the leather seat. In the alleyways, men are smoking cigarettes, and I smell fragments of your breath in the air. You take pieces of you and sprinkle them into the cracks of the cobblestones, little gray remnants, and I'm running through the streets, knee giving out, heel dipping into the grooves. In the stairwell, your mouth whistles into my ear, eyes dip into sleep, open to wet gray morning light shimmers through the railings. We shove burgers into our mouths, pickle juice running down my chin, down my collarbone, my shirt, my nipple, my stomach, last droplets drying on my hip bone. Stepping on another bus, heads nod to the cobblestone hollows. The glass window sticks to my skin, squishing my eyelid, smearing cathedrals, telephone booths, buses, arches, curves of gray splattered skies, without sun, without clouds, without color, faces walking their dogs, people riding their bicycles, leaving imprints on my cheek. So those 2 pieces were definitely more prose-like. This next piece is a true poem, I guess. So this one's called A Poem I Used to Dream About. You were the first time I ever finished a meal, even licked the salt off of each fingertip. Freeway coasting 4 miles short of 100, days would not be enough of your tongue, pastel shy of that garnet stream night, upwards and everywhere, our heads tilted so far out the windows until our bodies, like some melted galaxy, began to float over all 12 lanes, bungalows, palm tree blades, above blinks of blemishes, smeared marmalade, until our eyes lock eyes, until 2,731.9 miles equal 1. This next piece is actually the piece that I submitted into the chapbook, into the poetry challenge, and it got me published. So, so it's called JFK International Airport, 12:30 a.m. And again, this is actually part of a larger excerpt where I spent a lot of time in the airports this past year, traveling. So I like to really watch and see what kind of people are around me, and this is just kind of what the airport was like that evening. A mother is crying on her baby's shoulder. She rocks his body side to side, purring her tongue into his spongy ear. Their bodies sway. His awakening roar shrieks everyone's eyes open. The same baby that sleeps through the shaking gravel beneath the wheels that hum. The engines hum. Their faces hum. People shoving their suits, their pants, their pills, their porn, their poetry into suitcases maxed at 23 kilograms, so that the fat plane full of fat people with fat, greedy hearts isn't too heavy. But the people are shoving their poetry. The man's bag is too full, so he steps aside and unzips his suitcase. His underwear is out for everyone to see, and he reaches his hands deep in there and starts shuffling around, picking up pieces of clothing, throwing his maroon sweater out up in the air, his blue checkered button down, a pair of black socks, his toe clippers, a shoe, a razor. Suitcases roll across the glossy white floors. A woman enjoys being patted down in security. A child runs through the terminal flapping his arms. A 90-year-old man hobbles off a plane. A baby is crying. Faces are sleeping. Faces are flying. And the runway lights glow. So I just have one more poem to share with you guys. It's not much of a story to this one, but it's called This Town is Swollen with Azaleas. 1. This town is swollen with azaleas, stuffed clouds of pink raining down on your eyes, veiled with a grandeur scent, cloaking your authenticities. I tried to tell you that the azaleas are blooming in the next town over. 2. This town is swollen with azaleas, stuffed clouds of pink swathing a splendor scent, slowly curtaining your being. I tried to tell you that the azaleas are blooming in the next town over, and the next. 3. This town is swollen with azaleas, stuffed clouds of pink wrapping its grandeur trail, blinding your validity. We drive through towns, crowds of people stopped on sides of roads, gaping at the wildflowers. Their eyes are veiled too. 4. I tried to tell you that the azaleas are blooming in the next town over.
Hi everyone. So yeah, like Josh said, it's my second time reading, so go easy on me. My stuff doesn't really have titles, I usually just number everything. But most of the stuff that I write about is just like shitty dudes that I've dated. So if you get nothing else out of this, it's pretty much never date a writer because you're just going to become material. Alright. So some of it's like prose and then other stuff is more poem-like. So number 1. When we met, I was electric. I was working on myself, becoming the person I had lost so many years ago to someone else. I wanted to be so good for you, and I was, until I wasn't. You were going through something horrible. I tried to support you and show you compassion, even when you fought it off. You pushed me away, only to get angry when I would leave. You wanted me, but you didn't. I gave you all of me, and then some. Your back and forth, vague Twitter posts, insults. God forbid I tried to help you through your suffering. Then I backed off, burnt out fuse. You flipped a switch, came crawling back, with apologies, tears, flowers, I love yous, and this will never happen again. For a while you were better, but you held dark secrets within yourself, secrets you didn't even know yourself. You were in pain and so angry. You coped by making me hurt too, reaping the wrath of your sadness while everyone else got the persona you created, flashing that to the public, then put me down when I tried to lift you up, feeding your ego off my generosity. I'd never endured this much for anyone else before. Taking it all, I excused it. You're a walking contradiction of your beliefs and practices at war with yourself, taking your insecurities out on the one person who tried to understand you, justifying your actions with holy script that you so conveniently used when needed, pushing it to the side when it wasn't convenient. Just like me. Third time was the charm. 1 breakup, 2 breakup, 3. All in a matter of 5 months. Emotionally exhausting. You sent me a letter and my keys saying how sorry you were again and how I deserved better. At least one of us knew that. We talked the day she died and you weren't okay and I tried to be strong for you. You asked why I was so kind to you after everything you've done. I told you nobody should have to be alone at times like this. I let you sleep over that night, and with every thrust you absorbed my energy, leaving me lifeless and drained. You took the last of what was left of me. That was the last time I saw you. I pray nobody hurts you the way you hurt me. You're not strong enough to handle it. Alright, number 2. I don't want to fight, but that's the only time there's passion. When we're not fighting, it's like you're not even here. A skeleton void of human emotion. The only evidence of your existence is the cracking sound of bones on the hardwood. Make something up in your mind, working yourself up. Your flesh returns beaming with anger, yelling, cursing, crying, just to melt away by the morning, back to the cold, cracking sound on the hardwood. Number 3. I'm looking into hotel windows across from mine. Scenes play out like silent movies. Actors moving about unaware of an audience. Reading their expressions, deciphering if they are genuine or forced. What are they really feeling? What are they saying? What are they hiding? I create a scenario for each one in my mind. What would someone think if they looked through my window? Would my forced smile read as genuine? Would they read my lips to decipher lies from the truths? What narrative would they pin on me? The girl on a business trip? Or the one looking for a fun night? Or just the lonely girl that stares into strangers' windows at night, desperate for attention, trying to catch someone's eye, hoping someone tunes into my silent movie. Number 4. The stench from the decay, it lingers. Can't shake it off, just like a clinger. Try to cover it with something fresh and bright, but misery overpowers and wins the fight. Although it has been dead for a while, the remnants still lay here in a pile, everything decaying in those final weeks, knowing that our future was looking bleak. But it didn't just end, it left an awful stench. Even months later, it is left unquenched. Number 5. Have I ever told you how good I am at multitasking? I always have been. I can sit across from you and pretend that I care about every word that drips from your lips. Nodding, smiling, making eye contact, throwing in an aha, or yeah, all at the same time as I'm internally despising and picking apart every ounce of your being. Staring into those sad eyes that have never had a reason to be sad, have known nothing but privilege and entitlement. I'm straining to find any sign of a conscience. Your slick back hair falling over your eyes, a shadow revealing your true darkness. You push it back, restoring the mask you put on for the world. You loosen your tie and roll up your sleeves while still talking. What a relief it must be after a hard day's work, loosening the grip of reality from your neck, like the grip you have around mine that only gets tighter with time. Yeah. How happy we must look to anyone who passes by, smiling at one another. You still haven't stopped talking. I sit soaking up whatever the fuck is still dripping from your lips while dissecting every part of you I cannot stand. Uh-huh. Number 6. You read between every line, every word, every letter. It's obvious we never belong together. So now you sit with guilt and anger, using your words to hurt me like a dagger. But the stab wounds have been healing just fine. This one isn't about you either. Please move on. It's time. And then I have one last one. I actually just finished it yesterday, so it's my newest one. 11:11, make a wish. I wish I never met you. I wish you were here right now. I wish I could get you out of my mind. I can't, so I'm going out of my mind. I wish I actually would go out of my mind. Leave this place and live in another time where we never met, or just have not met yet. A place where I am aware of all my flaws and do not let them get in the way. Where I know all of your flaws and I can tiptoe around them. A place where I know all the right things to do and say. A place where you know all the right things to do and say. A place where you can admit you are wrong. Where one drink does not turn into 3, 4, 5, 6. A place where you do not have to apologize for the marks on my body the next day. A place where you grip my arm begging me to stay, listing all the reasons that you love me, rather than gripping my arm as I am frantically trying to get away from you. Some place where you are pushing me up against the wall with passion, not pinning me in a place as you breathe your violent rage onto my face. A place where love is more than a "I'm sorry" in the morning, as I am still deaf from your screams just from hours prior. I wish I never met you. I wish you were here right now. I would like to see you just one last time. I wish we could have one last kiss, so I could watch you bleed for me after I bite that disgusting smug smirk off your face.
Alright, the Justin up next. Thanks for doing this. Put this together. I have 4 poems I'm going to read. And the first one is called I Woke to a Text Message Saying Pop-Up is Dead. The first good peach of spring spat out. No saliva. No. Elbows and sides can't be felt past this life. Last breath severs. Arm at joint. Pictures. Your shirt sleeve rolled over Lucky's. Canoe and fishing pole. Blue jeans cuffed and bare feet in the muck. Oar in hand. Where are you going? Where have you been? Sat up 6 a.m. your words. I'm not ready to go into the crowd of people naked. Why you've got to leave. And the peaches may have been a bit green, but they're your favorite. This next one's called Mother. Hewer of wood, drawer of water, slips off the track. Laminate, vinyl, or otherwise. Tile even, if polished enough. The blueberries in the bowl on the table are for dessert. Whipped topping, whipped from scratch. Mother's hands have scars from another life, she says. Mother's hands. Apply lotion, perpetual grease and smell of faux lavender, plastic-like scent. Lotion as perfume. All lavender-scented candles, soaps, etc. Lotions capture the scent of mother. Think about the last lavender-scented candle lit out of necessity. Mother's hair like countless candle wicks. I light them in dreams. This next one's called Stone Fruit, and it's a sestina, which is a type of poetic form. Stone fruit over yellow post. A woman offers a fig to the man on Snyder Avenue. He turns her down, knows better. The skin is green. The fruit is too young. The man says, wait. But the woman doesn't wait, she bites. A dog on a post. A pup. 6 months young, the pup licks the hand of the man, tongue rough on his crepe paper skin. The key sticks, then turns. His wife tells the children to take turns. One go, the other wait. She has a lump under the skin on her breast. Reads the post. Gives a coffee and a cake to the man. What she'd give to be young. She'd give the lump to be young. To be young, she'd take turns, left and right, driving the man who had made her years before wait for the backyard center fence post to receive a new coat of white skin. The post was chipped. It needed new skin. White skin by white paint, color of young maiden. Strapped in the square to a post to be burned. She looks right, turns left, catches the eye, a tear. Wait, not from her eye, but the eye of the man from Sunday service. He's an arm around the man who delivers post. From his daily route, his skin is a darker shade. He mouths, wait. She mouths, but I'm too young. He looks to her, the postman. Turns around. With the spark, the fire consumes the post. Her. The man continues to drop post at her step. He knows, it turns out, that the lump will kill her, but she can but wait. It's called Post No Bills. This morning, I make a pot of coffee and drink it for the both of us. I come across a spot of French in my reading and pass over it. Posts make their way out of no headlights, sight. Duck bills make the noise of ducks. Birds shit beneath the wires outside my front door. They sing bird songs. Rain on the roof hums percussion. Car horns blurt, hello, please move. I'm lost without you.
Hi guys, I'm Ash, like Josh said, I work for 30 West, and I just want to thank you guys for coming out here and spending tonight with us. That's awesome. I really appreciate it, and I know Josh does too. You could have been 1,000 places, but you're here, and that's really rad. So I would like to read you some poetry. I'm going to start with some short ones, and then I have my last one, which is not a new poem, but it is the first time I'm performing it, so I'm really excited for you guys to hear it. But this first one is called Going Home. I went searching for the most desolate place on earth, and came home to find it beating inside my ribcage. When I opened up the stained glass windows to show you how the universe is shrinking, no stars fell from the dark, distant sky, and like a black hole collapsing at the center of the universe, you slammed the windows shut. So I don't usually like to give a lot of context to my poems because I hope they speak for themselves, and if they don't, I hope you like mysteries. But this one requires a little bit of context. Back home, my friends and I hold gigs / run a theater company out of an abandoned church in the middle of nowhere, and also there's probably a ghost. So this is about that. It's called St. Emma on the corner of Lehigh and Genoga Avenue. Your shattered windows might have been beautiful when you had a street address and a congregation, but you don't need a prayer to love something the way it deserves. From the couches placed where the pews once stood, we built something bigger than any religion when I covered your splintered altar with my song. Worship at the temple of my love, from the tall white towers now empty. Confess to me your sins when the sun goes down. Know that we are alone. And remember when we used to be beautiful. And then I think this is my last short one. It's called The Patron Saint of Lost Pennies. I don't know if anyone else really likes picking up change, but that is the best part of my day when it happens. I wake up every morning face down on the pavement and make a choice. Finding you wasn't lucky, it was inevitable. I put my pennies aside for you. I write your name without the vowels. I am not done with you yet. And this is the first time I will be performing this one. It's the last one I'm going to do for you guys, so I'm excited about it. It's called A Series of Short How-To Guides for Suicidal Girls. How to craft a beautiful suicide note. Write a love letter to everything you never became. Put it on the refrigerator next to the grocery list. How to balance on the edge of a cliff. When the bed is a cliff, and the door is a cliff, and the car is a cliff, and the phone is a cliff, and the whole world is the edge, and you look down at the sidewalk over the toes of your shoes again. Jump. How to swim. Forget everything you learned about survival and sink. How to persist after failure. Forget everything you learned about survival and swim. How to put down a loaded gun. Think of the mess. Find a bottle. How to ensure you never get put back in the psychiatric unit of the hospital. Take the right pills next time. How to recover. Learn to breathe underwater. Pretend you've always known how to swim. Skip your stone heart across the ocean and don't expect it back. How to be a bad victim. Accept silence. Accept fear. Regret not pulling the trigger when you had the chance. How to convince everyone you were a good victim instead. Tell them you kicked and screamed even though you are not yelling now and you never were. How to feel something again. Date the first boy who will admit to loving you, even when and especially if he doesn't mean it. Let him hurt you. Normalize pain, normalize the emptiness in your chest, and get used to drowning. How to decide to leave your abusive boyfriend who will propose to you inside a burning building. 2 years too late. Realize you are not a punching bag. Learn which fires you can put out and which ones you must let destroy you. How to say no when you don't know how to say no. Say yes even when and especially if you don't mean it. How to cry in a public place, including but not limited to the R train, the up escalator in your local Target, the bar where your improv comedy class is held, or outside the fancy restaurant to which you have worn the wrong jacket. Again, you're gonna cry. Try finding a guide on how to stop instead. How to leave your abusive fiancé who woke up in bed with another woman. Put the ring in a box with your bruises and mail it to an address in New Jersey. The house burned down lifetimes ago, but it's the last place you thought you could love him. Lose your future and don't look for it, except that love was not meant for you anyway. How to move on. Listen to your new roommates fight through the walls. Listen to your heartbeat and wonder if your chest was always so hollow. Listen to Here Comes the Sun 17 times on repeat before your roommates tell you to turn it down. Listen to it 3 more times anyway. Listen to audiobooks, even though you hate them because anything is better than silence. Try podcasts. Tell your therapist you have already moved on. Try your best to make it the truth. How to cover up scars, self-inflicted, emotional, or otherwise. Invest in cocoa butter and long-sleeve shirts. Get better at lying and call it an art. Burn down abandoned buildings knowing you can't put out the right fires and ask yourself why not. How to wake up on bad days. Get medicated again but know which pills to swallow and which ones to flush this time. How to learn to love yourself again. Wake up one day and realize you are no longer angry. Learn saying that I accept your apology is different than saying it's okay. Know that it's never going to be okay, and that's okay too. Imagine a future where you can swim. How to kill yourself without hurting the people who love you. You don't.